Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Interactions. So last time we got this platform set up, which we're going to be building off, and we made a start on crafting our boilers. As promised, I did actually gather all of the materials, and I have everything crafted now. Besides these hatches and buses for the inputs and outputs, because I'm not actually sure if we are able to get away with using the ULV one, and ULV is wrought iron instead of steel. So if possible, I would quite like to use the wrought iron versions. So we'll see about that. But everything else I have crafted. So we have the 3 machine controllers, which we made a start on last time. We had to cut that a little bit short. But I have those, which is these improved coke ovens. We're going to be setting this up. Of course, I also have the large bronze boiler crafted. We made the tree beacon last time as well. So all that's left to do is to make a few barrels to store the items, and then set this up. So I think we're going to be setting it up this way. It's somewhere on the end of that platform there. Probably put the boiler centered on that torch, I think. And then we'll maybe build out another area out that way for the tree farm. Filter the items in here into the boilers, which will be sitting probably about here. Or sorry, the coke ovens. They'll be sitting on this side. Feed into the boiler here, and then that will power our machines with steam. So this area has turned into a little bit of a mess here. I've just ended up throwing this chest down, but this should have everything that we need in it. So I think we're actually going to work backwards here. We're going to start with the boiler, and then do the coke ovens, and then do the tree farm. So I think right here seems like a decent spot for the boiler. I wasn't sure if the controller was on the bottom block or the middle block, but looks like it's the middle. So we've got the fire boxes in the bottom. I think the input also has to go in the bottom for fluids. And then casings all around the outside. So yeah, I guess now is the moment we should test our input and output buses here. So we do need one fluid input and one item input for this, as well as a fluid output. So I have the 3 machine casings here. I just have to convert them into their respective versions. So I think we use glass for this. Okay, I have to turn them into machine hulls first. I was missing that step. But after that, we can use the glass to turn it into a input hatch. This is for fluid input, so we need one of those. Fluid output is the reverse, and item input I think we need a chest for. Okay, I grabbed the chest. There's the input bus. So we'll have input on the left, I guess. Here. The input hatch, I think, has to go on the bottom. I could be wrong on that, but either way, I think it is ideal on the bottom. And then the output hatch on the right hand side. And it doesn't form. Okay. I think that means that we do have to use the LV versions. Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to get this to form. I swapped some of the buses out. This one, I think, has to be a casing on this side. But I'm not sure what else the issue is here. Okay, I figured it out here. The input hatch has to be on the bottom one. So this is the input, the input bus. Fluid in the middle bottom, and then output on this level here. So next, now we got our bronze boiler. We need to fuel this thing. So we're going to fuel it with creosote, as well as coal coke. So for that, we're going to follow the quest book and build 3 coke ovens. So I swapped it over to the other side and shifted this boiler over a little bit more, as it's going to make it easier to pipe in between these 2 multi-blocks. I just forgot about the input and output hatches, which I'm just crafting up now, since they were never actually in the quest here. But while there's some stuff processing, let's actually just quickly update on where we are in this quest book. So we are almost finished with this page. We need a bucket of steam for this quest. And then we did skip over this high pressure steam coal boiler. But that's effectively what this is. It's just a better version of it. And at some point last episode, I also added another small steam coal boiler. So I have 2 of these things running now. And I upgraded this to a medium bronze pipe. Just so that I could have more than 1 machine running. But soon enough, this system's going to replace those smaller little boilers there. But yeah, with that, this page is pretty much done. We also got the trophy for crafting up the LV machine hull. This actually gives us another 4, which is nice. Some vacuum tubes. We also opened up this quest page, which is pretty much all of the Greg Tech tiers as well. So this is like all of the circuits and whatnot. I think this is just telling you to batch craft, which I have been doing, but it's difficult with this inventory management. This one here is for the blast furnace. I don't know how soon we can get that, but we'll definitely need more than one of those at some point. And then, yeah, we've got our magic tabs over here. We have a few quests in each. Astral sorcery, the Botania stuff we haven't really touched yet. Same with blood magic, and then DML we haven't touched. So there's a couple of little quality of life things I would say in here. The tool quests. These have some pretty decent rewards on some of them. But yeah, to power this thing, we're also going to need a tree farm, and I think we'll just build it out next to this area here, just to have easy access to input the items. So I think right here is the chunk border, so I'd quite like to keep it in one chunk as well. And I think just to keep things a bit interesting, we're going to raise this up one level. And I'll build out a little, probably 5x5 will be enough for our tree farm for Astral. So I don't remember exactly how this thing works, this tree beacon. It's been a while since I used it. I think we have to grow the tree first and then place the tree beacon next to it. So I want to use mineral saplings, as I want to use this as a building block for this area. I think it goes really well with the porcelain bricks, the planks that is. So we have our tree here, and then if we place the tree beacon next to this, I have to look this up, one sec. Okay, I think I just had it backwards. We have to place the tree beacon first, then the tree. Alright, let's try growing this thing again. Oh yeah, now it's working. Okay. So we also need some way of collecting the drops for this thing. Actually, where are they going right now? Oh, they're just being dropped. So yeah, we need some sort of item collection system. And I think the quest actually gives you one as well. Yeah, it does, look at that. Advanced item collector with an item filler. So I would also like to get some barrels. Unfortunately, there is no drawers in this pack. So we're going to have to settle with barrels. They're effectively like drawers, but I do prefer the drawers mod a little bit more. Anyways, we need some iron screws for that, some chests, and more iron plates. I may have to go mining for some more iron. I'm getting quite low. But we'll make up some barrels. And I maybe should stop this thing right now, otherwise it's going to spill onto the ground before we're ready for it. Yeah, let's actually break this. And we'll replace it when we're ready. Okay. Okay, so I managed to craft up the last of the input and output hatches. I have the last 3 output hatches here. And I hope this forms... Okay, yes. Nice. So we got our 3 improved coke ovens up and running. We have input on the left for items. So this is where we'll put in the logs that come from our tree farm. And then fluid output, it's going to output creosote oil. So this will go into this bronze boiler. And actually, I think I'm going to have to make another input hatch for this one. Or put another one on it, on the back for creosote. Oh, this thing is trying to... Yeah, this thing's trying to fill it with water. We obviously don't want that. We'll have to change that a bit. We're also going to need some way of piping items around. So I don't know if we have access to Ender IO yet. I hope we have access to conduits by now. If not, we're going to have to find some other solution. So, conduits. Can we make the basic ones? Conduit binder and clear glass requires what? Just sand and glass? Okay, we can do this, no problem. What about pressurized? That requires fused quartz, which is a blast furnace. Okay, so we can get the basic ones. I'm hoping that'll be enough. And conduit binder, is that default? Yes, it is. That's very easy. And what about item conduits? Can we make those yet? We need pulsating iron, which is not quite available yet. This is an MV recipe, so item conduits are a no-go. I wonder what else we could do for items. Looks like we can make item ducts. I'm going to have a dig around just to see if there's any other options for this. But I'll also make the barrels, and then I think we're ready to set this up. Okay, so after some tinkering about with this, I finally got this up and running. It's just missing one piece, which is the coolant for this boiler. But apart from that, we have our tree beacon set back up. I've placed 4 barrels. And in fact, I need some void upgrades for these. So we'll put a void upgrade on each of these. I suppose we don't really need it on the logs. In fact, no, we should really put it on the logs, just in case it backs up. I have these barrels locked as well with the storage key. It gives you it from the quest reward, I think. And then the way I have this set up is I'm using our item collector with the filter in there. Filtered for these 4 items. And that will put it into this chest, which is then extracted into this conduit network, piped into these barrels. And then these barrels have item conduits underneath, extracting them into these first 2 coke ovens. And it's just the logs actually, so the logs get piped into these first 2. That gets turned into coal coke, which gets outputted on these sides. And then these go all the way over into this item input. Sorry, no it doesn't. It processes charcoal into coal coke. So this gets the logs into charcoal, and the 2 charcoal comes out here and goes in the top one to make coal coke. And then the coal coke goes all the way at the bottom into this boiler and powers it. We're also getting the creosote out the back, and I've used the regular fluid conduits for that to pipe into here. Obviously it's still latched on water, I'll have to fix that. But the final thing we need is a aqueous accumulator to actually cool this thing. So to make the accumulator, I thought I was going to have to go and get lead because I didn't have these fluid ducts, and these require lead plates. But luckily it gives us as a quest reward for the Everfull urn. So I haven't claimed that yet, but we can actually just take it from here. And that will allow us to make the aqueous accumulator. I just need some wrought iron plates and the redstone clock for that. Okay, there's our aqueous accumulator. And a quest, it looks like. Oh, it's this one here, part of this setup. So this actually gives us a steel drum, which I think we should use maybe as a buffer for creosote. Yeah, maybe let's do that. Maybe let's add it right here. So this will buffer the creosote in this drum. And then we'll have to set up our accumulator below this. And this has to go into this middle block here. So I think we can just put it right on it and then surround it with water. I'm going to use some porcelain bricks though around this, just so that I don't break the water and spill it. Okay, I filled the inside with water. I hope that hatch is actually getting filled. Let's actually just check. Okay, yeah, it is getting water. And this should be full as well. Yes. And then I think the last thing we have to do is unlatch this from water. So I guess I'll take this away and then we'll replace this hatch. And that we'll fill it with creosote oil. And we should be in business, I think. Oh yeah, temperature is increasing. But there is a throttle here. I don't actually know what the most efficient throttle is for this configuration. Okay, everything seems to be working. We are slowly building up on charcoal. This is slowly backing up, which will then back up this and then back up the logs eventually, which is good. But we're not producing any steam yet. Maybe it has to reach 100 first. Okay, 185 millibuckets to start with. Oh, I completely forgot to mention, by the way we're getting these item conduits. I mentioned before it was an MV recipe. That is still true, but we get an item conduit from this quest reward for making the alloy smelter. Gave us pulsating iron ingots. So that gave me enough to craft these item conduits, which is really, really convenient actually. For now, I think I'm just going to directly hook this up with some of the medium pipe. And that means we don't have to rely on this anymore, and our steam production is fully automatic. And I'll keep an eye on this. But for now, I think we can move on. This steam setup is going to be robust enough to get us to LV as well. So we can make, I think it's the steam turbines. These things for LV power. But there's a few things I'd like to do before we get into that. One of those is upgrading this infernal furnace by adding some more arcane bellows. Since we're going to be going to the LV age soon, we're going to need a lot of steel. And so to increase the steel output, I'm going to try to get some more bellows. For the bellows, we need these ARV crystals though. I don't have any of those left, which means I'm going to have to go mining. And they're found in this vein here, next to the emeralds. It says it spawns in biomes where the world's compressive forces have formed mountains and hills. So, jungle, desert, cliffs, or extreme hills. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of exploring, and we'll see if we can try and get that and get some more arcane bellows. So I've taken the teleporter back to our original portal here. I'm going to go this way and just see if I can find anything. Maybe that hill will find the cataplants that we need, these things, which is the marker for this vein. I see another village. I wonder if we get the peace candle from the church there. Let's find out. No luck with the village, but I got our first astral temple here. Let's see what we got in the loot. And maybe it's a good idea to take this marble as well, since we'll be getting into astral sorcery relatively soon. Not much in the first chest, and second chest is more or less the same. Okay, I'm going to grab some of this. I'm actually quite far out here by now. That was the village back there. I'm thinking I'll go further this way, check out this little area over here. I'll let you know if I find anything else of interest. Another village here. It looks like we got a blacksmith, so hopefully he has some goodies in his chest. Let's see what we got here. Oh, some diamonds, nice. Some armor. And, oh yeah, check out these chain leggings I found as well. A zombie dropped these, believe it or not. These are pretty crazy. This mission is proven out to be somewhat unsuccessful here. I've had to actually AFK 3 separate nights, and yeah, we are quite far out now, and I'm kind of losing a bit of hope here. It doesn't help that I'm moving so slow as well. I don't have any food left either. I'm eating some raw fish that I pulled out of the fish traps. This is not going so great here, but we really need it to progress, so I really would like to get this air-infused ore to get the steel. I know there is another way you could do it through Thaumcraft, but I would rather find it. So I'm going to just persist here and hopefully we get lucky. So I was just about to give up here. We are really, really far out. Yeah, I've covered all of this ground by now, but we finally found them. These are the plants I was looking for, these cataplants. Finally. I don't know how I'm going to get back here right enough, but I'm going to get as much of this vein as I can. And also, check out this biome. This is very interesting. I've never seen this before. Called Crystal Forest. I'm not sure which mod adds this. But yeah, I'm going to finally try and gather up some of this ore. And then we'll head back and probably start the LV age. So I just made it back here. I tried to grab as much of it as I could. It's marked on the map, so we can get back there. It's all the way over there. Hopefully by the time we need to go back though, we have better means of transportation. But I did also find 2 more astral temples, which had a few more diamonds in it. I picked up some more marble as well. So it wasn't too bad, but that took way longer than it should have. So after we process some of the ore, we can now make our arcane bellows. And we're limited by the V, but oh wait, give us 6. Is 6 too many? Can we even fit 6 around this? I don't know the positions of these things. Is it maybe just the 4 sides? One here as well. Maybe I made too many. Well, it's not that big a deal, it's okay. The first thing I'd like to use our diamonds on is actually the time in the bottle. As you can see, it's one of the first items I actually pinned here. I've been waiting to make this so long, so we need some lapis, some electrum. Oh wait, electrum is gold and silver. I don't have silver yet actually. It's probably worth to go out and get some. Do I really want to take another trip out there? Let's see, silver is the hydrangea. I think I've seen some of this, so I might just go and grab some silver really quick to get the time in the bottle. Now that we have sufficient steam, it's going to make processing things for LV a lot quicker. Okay, so I grabbed some silver. Let's make some of that into electrum. And also, let's actually test out these new bellows to see how much steel we're going to get. Yeah, I'm not sure about the flux impact on this. We're currently at 24.8. Let's throw the whole stack in. Let's just see where we're at. But I know that in the future we can alleviate the flux from this thing by upgrading it, I believe. Oh yeah, that's significantly better steel yield. Yeah, that's going to make LV machine crafting way easier. Alright, there's some electrum as well. Let's see if we can make this, I'm not sure what that's doing in there. I guess we'll need it though, so I'll pull that out. Okay, so a clock. We need a lotus blossom and some lapis. The lapis I think we can get from a quest reward. There's something obscure as well, something that you wouldn't think gives lapis. Ah, it was the rock crystal ore. It gives 8 lapis. So there's our lapis, and we also need the lotus blossom, which I should have down there. Yeah, there's some growing. And there is our time in a bottle. Time starts now. Quest complete as well. But it took till day 94. I wonder how much time we're going to rack up on this thing. With the way this pack's going, I'm going really slow. I feel like I'm going really slow here, but yeah, I'm having a blast. Anyways, the next thing we want to do is to get to the LV age. That's the next goal. So eventually we want to have all of these LV machines. Let's just start from the top. I guess we're going to have to power our LV as well. So we can use the steam, and we're going to use these turbines. So how do we make these? Going to be rotors, machine hulls, motors, and circuits. Okay, and as I mentioned, these do take a lot of steel, which is no problem now. The tin rotors, unfortunately we don't have the Omnifactory recipe for rotors, and I think it's the alloy smelter. You can use a mold for it, but it doesn't exist in this pack, so we have to craft it this way. And then as for motors, we need some rods, some wires. Yeah, we need to make a wire mill ASAP. This is going to probably be one of the first machines I make. But I know there is some quest rewards we can claim actually, so let's maybe just do that to start with. Just to give us a head start, if we can find them. Ah yeah, this one for the boiler gives, or the coke oven, sorry, gives 1 circuit. I don't think any of these give any more rewards we can use at the moment. And the reward for the circuit quest also gives us 4 more, so that's an extra 5 free circuits just from the quest book. So that's nice. And I also noticed this one as well. This one, for making 16 circuits, gives us a bunch of components, so I will definitely want to do this. And then this one here is probably the most important one. To make 40 motors, we'll probably make a stack at a time, so I might just work on that right now. Trying to make a stack, and then, yeah, that rewards us with some really nice rewards here. Alright, so I think the plan is I'm going to start with that circuit quest, and then I'm going to make the wire mill just to make components a little bit easier, and then I'm going to do the motors quest for the 40 motors, and then we'll finish off the rest of the LV machines. I think I'll show some of the crafting, but after we do it the first time, I think probably I'm just going to do all the rest of the crafting off camera, since it's more of the same pretty much. I don't know, that sometimes it can get a little bit repetitive, but it has to be done. And I do enjoy it, but watching someone else do it sometimes isn't great. The Pure Daisy here is the perfect use case for our new time in a bottle. Takes it down from a minute to just a couple of seconds for the transformation to occur. It's amazing. Okay, there's enough for another 8 logic circuits, which should give us the quest. That's a total of 16 for now. So next up, I'd like to make the turbine. I've made some rotors already. I made 13. It's not a very good number to make, but we have to make some motors as well. And I think it is worth just doing some to make the turbine and the wire mill. I don't know, it's actually a tough call. Nah, you know what, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do it with tools, and we're going to get this quest first before we make any of the LV machines. So I'm going to get 40 motors, electric pump, conveyor module, a piston, and a robot arm. Okay, so for the motors we're going to need a whole lot of iron rods, some of which have to be magnetic. And I just checked all of the chests, including the ones inside, and it turns out we're all out of iron. We're also all out of coal and all out of redstone, so I have way fewer resources than I actually thought. And I don't think we'll be able to get this finished today, but hopefully next time we can start the LV age. So the plan for next episode is to make all of these, try and get these 2 quests, make all of these LV machines, and then I think we'll finish off tomorrow by doing a bit of base building. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more FTB interactions.